Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and welcome to the Brian Tracy Show. I'm here today with Matthew Cravey, one of the top real estate developers and real estate professionals in Texas, outside of San Antonio in Corpus Christi, and he's going to share with us some of the things that he's doing and some of the great ideas he has for the future. Matthew, thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much.
We were talking a little bit before. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you do it.
Well, I'm in commercial and industrial real estate.
Right.
I have a real estate company based out of Corpus Christi. We work through most of the state.
Right.
We sell, lease, and manage commercial and industrial real estate.
Right. You mean office buildings, industrial buildings, things like that?
Right. Warehouses and finding everything from restaurant locations for some of these freestanding restaurants to even banks to even for schools.
Yeah, well, you know, I told you I used to be in this industry. It's one of the most
Right.
important industries in the entire country. The country would actually grind to a halt without commercial real estate available to businesses and entrepreneurs and so on.
I don't think people realize, you know, they go to the mall and they shop. They don't realize that somebody had to put all those tenants together, design the mall. They have to run it and take care of it. I don't think they realize it. Or they go to their office and they work every day and they aren't thinking about somebody had to risk their capital and build this office building and then run it every day and make it run smooth so you can go back home and have
Yep.
sort of an uneventful day.
Yeah, it's enormously complex. It's
Yes.
you know, you can either build a commercial development or you can do brain surgery, and probably brain surgery is easier.
Well, and you know, one thing I learned, I've been doing this for over 40 years,
Right.
and so one thing I learned is you just really need to specialize.
Yes.
You know, and so I've done a little bit of everything over the years, so I've got a good understanding. But slowly but surely, I realized that I needed to specialize. You just can't be a jack of all trades, you know.
Absolutely right. The first rule of marketing or business success is to specialize.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Become
Yes.
very, very good in one area.
Right.
So what is your vision for the future? What is your purpose? Why have you sort of chosen this industry when you could probably do lots of other things?
You know, in the beginning, I did it because I was told that I was, had a gift to gab. And so, and somebody said, well, you know, with that line of bull, you ought to be in sales. And then I was dating these young ladies when I was young, and all their dads were in real estate. And I said, well, dude, this is great. I don't even have to go to college. I'll just go in real estate, and I'll make all this money. Well, that showed how naive I was. And then on top of it, once I got licensed, my broker says, why'd you get in real estate? And I said, well, I've got this gift to gab. He goes, interesting. He says, you want to know the secret to this business? I said, what? And he goes, shut up, be quiet, and listen. And he said, and I just sort of I just blew up my whole plan. I said, well, wait a minute, I'm going to talk my way through this whole thing and make millions of dollars.
Right.
And then as time went on, I learned that I didn't know anything about it. Somebody else said I wasn't really a real estate agent. I was just a glorified tour guide. And all I do was just taking people around. And of course, I started when I was 19.
Right.
So I also didn't realize that nobody took me seriously because I was 19.
Right.
And I didn't know anything. So I really realized from that point, working with everybody, I needed to learn the business. I really, really need to learn.
Yes.
But the reason I've stayed in the business is I like people. And I like solving problems. And those two together, because you're always meeting interesting people. And they all have a problem. So I'm not really selling real estate, and that's what I tell my agents. We're not selling, we're helping people. They all come to us with a problem, and all we have to do is solve it.
Now you guys are doing some unique and different things from your competitors in order to survive and thrive in your marketplace. What are they?
Well, one of the things early on is, even though we're in a smaller community, we started specializing.
Right.
And then I love to watch people grow, and so I bring in a new agent and get them groomed to take over a position. Now I lucked out. The first person was really good in retail,
Right.
so I didn't have to show her too much. But then as time goes on, we've added each person to a different part of the business, and then we make sure that they really know the business. Now they need to know they need to know the real estate business, but they really need to know their field.
Yes.
And it's so different. than what our competitors were doing, that it just really helped a lot. And then the other thing is we're big on education. I have a CCIM and an SIOR designation, which are two of the highest in the industry.
Yes.
And what I don't think a lot of people realize is the CCIM classes I took and everything are the same as anybody in New York, San Francisco, Chicago. So just because we're in a smaller community, we still have those same designations as anybody in a larger city.
National accreditation.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, but what makes it nice is that we just choose to live in a smaller community. We only have about 500,000 people that, immediately in our area, and then after taking all of that and then taking over 40 years of experience and then all the experience of my other agents, we're able to do some really great things in our area, actually.
Yeah, well, in almost every specialized field today, the key to differentiating yourself is to be more knowledgeable than your competitors, and more knowledgeable in such a way that it can help your clients to make better decisions, to get better results from their choices of space, and whether they're selling or leasing or expanding or something else.
Right, and you know, so many people in our field they'll grow weary of it, so they get off into some other things.
Yeah.
But what I find is by taking on another project, by maybe getting another customer, just another challenge, it just keeps you fresh. And then I agree totally with you. You just have to just keep educating yourself and working on yourself, and then you'll be a benefit to your customer, benefit to yourself as well, your family.
Yeah, the studies show that the people who own the future are the people who are continually learning, continually upgrading their skills, continually taking in new knowledge. Because the rule is, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Oh, I agree.
If you're not moving ahead, you're falling back. Nobody stays even, not in today's world.
Well, was it Ray Kroc with McDonald's said, if you're green, you're growing, you're ripe, and you're rotten, and something to that effect, and I just remembered that, and but I believe too that you do need a lot of knowledge in my business. But I think you need just a lot of knowledge in a lot of things. So I try to learn about different fields, different things. Maybe I met somebody that was really interesting, and I wanted to know more about what they're doing. Maybe have a better understanding of what they're doing, and I think that helps me stay fresh as well.
Yeah, and later on you meet somebody else and you have this information, and this information is helpful to this other person. Now give us one success story based on your area of specialization, your expertise, and your knowledge, where you had a client, a customer, a tenant that you were able to help really well because of this. The
most unique property I had is this older attorney owned a property that was a landfill. They had dug the soil out in strips and filled it back in with trash. And they built the highway right in front of the property. And but it was stripped, thank goodness, and it was only about 12 foot deep. So the property was still usable, and from the naked eye, you couldn't tell it was a landfill.
Right.
But because of the new laws, it had to be registered as a landfill. It needed to tell the public that's what it was.
Right.
Well, we started off with the first tenant to go in there was Outback, and we realized what we were doing, and so we do Outback, Carrabba's, Cracker Barrel. And we build a road up through the middle, and of course the hotels want to follow the restaurants.
Right.
And we took the whole development all the way through, and it got a little confusing to some people. Some of our foreign owners of hotels, when we told them that you had to put piers down, they said, no, we don't want to go up in the air and have the building sitting like on the coast, on a pier.
Right.
And I said, we're not communicating. You need to go down in the ground about 25 feet to support the building.
Yeah, get down.
And the whole development is almost all sold out. It's a real popular area for hotels and everything. And the public has no idea that they're sitting on a landfill while they're going out to eat or living or whatever. And it's not dangerous. It's fine.
So if people wanted to get in touch with you, how would they learn more about you and your business?
Well, they need to go to probably our website.
Right.
Is probably one of the best places to go. It has all our information, and that's probably the best way.
And it is?
Our website is craveyrealestate.com.
CRAVEY, realestate.com.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Good to meet you.